does happen a lot. I think it's something you would see in any Islamic country, primarily Islamic country. Art, culture, history, tourism.
Okay. So yeah, that's all the questions that are in the little back book.
Hello, my name is Brian.
And my name is Angie, and this is another late night chat episode, Egypt edition.
Egypt edition.
Exactly. So yeah, we're in Egypt, and today I will just read some questions to us, and Brian will start answering, and then I will jump into it and say a few words.
Perfecto.
Exactly. Let's just start. Okay, question number 1. What is your first impression of Egypt?
What is my first impression of Egypt? Art, culture, history, tourism.
Okay.
There's a little bit and a lot of that in equal measure everywhere. Everywhere you go, there's a piece of history you're seeing, or a piece of history you're hearing, or just something to do with history. I mean, it's a very ancient civilization,
True.
Egypt. So, and there's a reason for that. So there's bits and bits of that are still left, even in the people, in what they're saying.
Especially in the people, I would say.
Especially in the people.
Yeah.
When they tell you this or that, you can tell bits and bits of history and things that people share with you.
Yeah.
And a lot of art. I mean, with history comes art a lot of times.
Especially because, like, the buildings that we see, I think you can't just see them as buildings. You somehow always see them as art and as well. And
exactly.
Yeah.
And they tell a story.
a historical story. Yeah.
Yeah. And tourism. I mean, all of them tied together. Whether it's history, art.
Right.
There's a lot of tourism. As well.
Wow. Yeah. Especially where we are at right now. Oh my God, I think this is basically built for tourists. Even I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
some of you know more about that. We're in Sharm el Sheikh.
Yeah.
I don't know if I said it right.
Yeah.
But let us know if you know more about the history of the city itself. But I think it's literally built for tourists. Because there's not everything is for tourists, literally.
It's built a lot for tourists. Yes. And even the place that we like, another city, neighbor city, Dahab, they still customize some of their places for tourism as well. They have some tourist sites out there as well.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of tourism generally, or all across Egypt. Yeah.
True. Yeah. I guess that's a good starting point.
Yeah.
Let's go to question number 2.
Let's do it.
Question number 2 is going a little bit deeper. And the question is, how does the tea culture in Egypt compare to the tea culture in Kenya?
Tea culture in Egypt and Kenya. I would say it's very similar in the sense that tea is such a common thing you're seeing everywhere. I'd say people drink a lot of tea. A small difference is we serve them in bigger cups, and more often than not it's with milk.
If you're in Kenya and you ask for tea, you most likely, or actually most definitely, get milk tea.
Yeah.
And here I think it's just black tea in small, very pretty cups.
In small,
more
smaller
like
portions.
Like pretty glass fioles, which are a lot smaller, but
a lot
very
smaller.
pretty.
We haven't tried much of the tea actually.
No,
Not really, but it's everywhere. I'm trying to remember the name of when we went to Dahab, like these tents, Bedouin tents. And it's such a common thing, even see in pictures and movies and music. Like, you usually see people in these tents drinking tea. I think it's like an Arabic thing also.
I think so too.
It could be like an Arabic thing as well.
Yeah.
So, but it's pretty much similar in the sense that tea has a cultural context. Like people take it to socialize and all.
You
It's
said
like
it very well. Yeah.
it's like a social drink,
Yeah.
more or less.
Oh,
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Question number 3.
Mhm.
What role does religion play in people's day-to-day life?
Mhm.
And maybe as a small addition, with a comparison to Kenya, like religion in Kenya, religion in Egypt.
Religion in Kenya versus religion in Egypt. Religion is part of people's day-to-day. Majority of the people, not everyone, of course. In how people greet each other, in how people dress, in how people just conduct their day-to-day. Religion is a huge part. But I think it comes down to, I think that happens in very many Islam areas, like where the population is mostly Muslim. That does happen a lot. I think it's something you would see in any Islamic country, primarily Islamic country. You'd see a lot of it in people's day-to-day.
True.
Yesterday,
Yeah.
we saw a cop on the road praying,
Yeah, true.
and that's
We
it's
literally
huge.
passed like a police car, and behind that police car there was a police officer on his prayer mat, on his prayer mat praying. It's actually nice to see somehow how religion is such a big part of the people here, and I feel like it's a lot more visible in Arabic countries or more Muslimic countries.
I agree. Christian countries are very mainstream in the ways of life. Religion is not that big of a, I don't want to say it's not that big of a deal, but it's not part of people's daily routine. You know what I mean? Like a lot of Christian countries, I mean, I'm a Christian myself. Like we pray from time to time, but it's not down to a T, you know. And in Islamic countries, you can't not notice that. Someone can go to a Christian country and religion is not gonna stand out to you. You're not gonna leave that country thinking about the religion. But go to an Islamic Muslim country, and you can't not notice it.
Exactly. You can spend a whole day in a country that has more Christians and not notice how important religion is to the people.
Yeah.
But you can't do that in Egypt, for example. You will notice if you walk through the city, then you will notice.
You can't not miss it. True. Agreed.
Next one is bargaining different in Egypt versus in Kenya?
Similar and different in more than one way. It's similar in the sense that it's the same principle.
Yeah.
It's the same principle of course, seller wants more money from the buyer. Buyer tries to cut down the price as much as possible. It's the same principle.
Exactly.
I do think it becomes more of an art form because there's no fixed price, right? So it comes down to your negotiation skills, right? It's like how good of a price can you get for something? Someone can go in there and get it for $4. You go there and get it for $3. Another person for $2. Another person $10.
But I would say it comes down a lot to what you said, like how good you're at bargaining, but also to your character. If you're nice, I feel like if you have a good vibe and the seller feels that, or the other way, like the other way as well. You're more willing to adjust your own price, like the seller and the buyer both. And another thing that I noticed is that here, at least that's from my experience, the seller is not that much willing to adjust their price like in Kenya. Just from my perspective, from what I noticed. Like for example, I think 2 days ago, we were seeing like these Arafat scarves. Is it the proper name? I don't know.
I think that's the proper name.
Yeah? Okay.
Arafat.
And he wanted $13 for 2. And we already saw like the fabric. Okay, that's not it. But we still said, okay, $10. We knew kind of it is too much.
Yeah.
But yesterday we saw the same material, the same scarf, the same model, two for $1, two for $1.
The difference is crazy.
Yeah.
The difference is crazy. Yeah.
We should have gotten it, by the way. I don't know why we didn't even get it.
We should have. Two for $1 is actually good.
It's actually good.
Just 50 cents. Just to keep.
Exactly.
Maybe we can still get it. Wow.
Yeah, true.
But I don't know. It's also complicated to bargain in dollars. It's such a different concept to bargain in dollars. I don't know. In shillings, there's more units to bargain on.
Yeah.
Like something is 100 bob, you get it to 70, 60, 65, 50, 40. You know.
True.
Dollars is like you're only going on a dollar unit.
Exactly,
you know.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Not just because it's $1, but just bargaining in a different currency. Even if we're buying something in Egyptian pounds, that's a local currency. Even if we're buying something in Egyptian pounds, I feel like I would still have trouble knowing what is a good bargaining point.
True.
Such wrapping your head around a foreign currency can sometimes
Yeah.
It's not the easiest.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Yeah. Okay, next question.
Yeah.
Okay, next question. And it's also the last question. Are there any similarities in art and craft? Kenya versus Egypt, of course.
Oh, are there any similarities in art and craft?
Or differences?
I can think of few similarities. In terms of, there's a lot of differences in the kind of the art form generally. Egyptian art is more contextualized around this region and its people and its history. It's Mesopotamia, Arab, like it's a different kind of art form. Whereas in Kenya, if you look at historical art, it's a whole different kind of art. We have very different histories, and that kind of defines the art that you guys have. But one thing that I think is common is beauty art, like decorations, like bangles, for example, necklaces. Bangles, are they called bangles or what are they called? Like what you
Bracelets.
Bracelets. Wow, yes, bracelets.
I don't even know what bangles are.
I think that's a name we used to use when I was younger. Bangles.
Oh, okay.
Bracelets. There's a lot of bracelets that I see. Some of them, they're pretty unique to this area, but some of them you're like, I could probably see this in Kenya in one or the other. At least the design, maybe the material is different and all. But the design, you're like, you could see this somewhere in Kenya. So,
you would definitely not get the same. But you generally bangles. Generally, you find bangles, maybe different, slightly different, but basically, if you don't look close, it would look the same. But when it comes to bracelets, I think it's more for the tourists. I have not seen any locals walking around with the Kenyan bracelet, which means a lot to Kenyans generally. I don't think there's something like this. At least I don't know.
I see what you mean. Like the Kenyan bracelet is not just for tourists. Kenyans also wear it, but Egyptians not. Okay.
Who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. But I feel like this Kenyan bracelet, but this specific, of course, has a lot more meaning to Kenyans themselves.
I don't know what it is about the Kenyan bracelet. Okay, now we're talking about Kenyan art. I don't know what it is about the Kenyan bracelet, but a lot of people who are not even Kenyan wear it. I think I was seeing the Olympics recently. There was an athlete who's not Kenyan that was wearing a Kenyan bracelet.
I mean, do you know if he or she maybe lived in Kenya?
Maybe they lived or visited.
Or I think it's also a thing of pride if you go to a country that you really liked and you buy a bracelet to show, look where I've been to.
Yeah, that's also true. But I don't know if I can think of any other similarities or differences in art and culture.
To be honest, I actually see a lot of similarities. It's definitely differently made. For example, little figures. Like you see them in Kenya, you see them in Egypt. I think in Kenya it's more wooden, and of course it's more towards wildlife and
Maasai.
towards Maasai, exactly. In Egypt, they also have these figures, and
Yeah.
that's a similarity. It's more made of marmor. What is it called in English? Marmor?
I don't even know the name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Marmor, but in English?
Yeah. Mom is the German word for it.
I think so.
Um,
Like it's more stone, out of different stones.
yeah, yeah.
And it's more towards history, more towards like the pharaohs,
Yeah.
more towards the
It's more
pyramids,
ancient,
more towards
yeah.
the gods that they
Yeah,
had, like this cat or
The
yeah,
Sphinx and all.
a lot of Nefertiti,
Nefertiti.
in German, or
Yeah.
Nefertiti.
I
English.
didn't know the name of this. She was a pharaoh's queen, and
Exactly.
may have been a pharaoh after queen pharaoh after the death of her
Her
husband.
husband.
I didn't know much about her until yesterday.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I've seen the figure, like
Mm.
it's very popular world over. I just never knew the story behind it.
I think I know a little bit, not much, but a little bit about them. At least
Yeah.
when I see like the stone figure of
Yeah,
the specific people, I know a little bit about, like, at least the names. Probably because of my sister, maybe because she was very interested in history.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I always have something in my back. And also I've been to Egypt already, so this is the second time. So of course I know a few
A little
things.
bit more. That's
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
That's true. I'm thinking if we should have. So our guide, the guide we had when we went to the hub, he said he studied Egyptology.
Mm.
I'm thinking. I'm wondering if we should have actually like talked to him a bit more about Egyptian history.
Probably. It was just not the topic of that tour.
Yeah.
So I think that's.
He probably would have known a lot actually.
Oh yes.
He probably would
Yes,
have. But
definitely.
anyway.
I mean,
We
the
can
thing what
learn.
we can do is just go to a still touristy but less touristy city, Cairo, for example. Next time we go to Cairo,
Yeah.
and then we will learn a lot. That's where we will get more of Egypt, more of the history. Because here there's just so much you can get about Egypt itself
True.
and
true,
experience about Egypt.
True. But it's still good all the
Yeah.
same. Still good.
That's all the questions that are in the little black book for now. I hope you enjoyed it. And write in the comments what we should talk about next.
Mhm.
The next time we'll be out of Egypt, I assume. Yeah. I think this is the last video we will upload from Egypt. Yes. Hope to see you soon. Or you, us.
Yes.
Anything from you?
Nothing. Just enjoying the vacation vibe
Oh,
as long
yeah.
as I can.
It's actually nice. It's actually
Oh,
really
it's
nice.
perfect for vacation. It's relaxing. It's calming.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Thank you, Egypt. No? No.
Yeah, that's all.
Okay.
Okay. Bye bye. See you in the next one. Oh, I kicked the camera. Ooh.